and Jeff Raymond is here to share with us today. I'll let you share a lot of your story and things like that. Our director for Prefield Ministry is Brad Winkler, and he is actually...
He's in God's country,
yeah, he's
Michigan.
We got some Michigan people.
That's good.
No cheers or anything.
That's good. Well, at least I didn't get booze.
Yeah.
That's a start.
So Jeff is just helping us out today. He's on Prefield, or finishing Prefield.
Finishing.
Tell your own story.
I'll tell my own story. How y'all doing? I get the late afternoon slot here. This is awesome. You know, the nap slot. It's cool. But I'll tell you what, Prefield is something where when candidates come in, we get more questions about this than anything, because this is what your life would be like for a period of time. So we're going to kind of walk through basic questions that you might have. What questions do people have about Prefield? And the first one is obviously, what is Prefield? Because every mission agency is going to use different terminology and words. So we're going to make it real simple. This is not rocket science here. When we talk about field in missions, we're talking about the field of service where you will go to serve the Lord. When we use pre in the English language, it means before. So before you arrive on your field of service, there's going to be a period of time in your life between when you're appointed as an ABW missionary and when you arrive on that field. And that's what we call Prefield ministry, because that is a time in your life where you're doing what? You're doing ministry. See, it only gets better. And we're going to talk about this a bit. What does this look like for you? And like Whitney said, my family and I are finishing our time on Prefield ministry. And so I can definitely give you some insights about what your life is going to look like on Prefield. It's a time in your life that's unlike any other. And as I talk about this, I'm just going to let things roll of the experiences we've had. A time to share the vision God's given you for ministry. It's a time to challenge churches, to expand their vision for missions, and to challenge individuals to get off their duff, to do anything, to do something. Prefield is a time to lead people to Jesus. It's a time to pray. People have hard, difficult, desperate situations, and you have just neat times to pray for them. It's a time to sit down in homes, lots of people's homes. You're gonna be a fly on the wall in places you'd never imagined you'd be, and to just give them an opportunity to be more engaged in what God's doing around the world. Your children are going to learn to trust God. Well, you might too, but it's a time of trust, a time to go places you've never been, to see things that you've never done. It's kind of like an extended field trip. If you have children, it's just amazing, the things that you can do. But it's also a time, like the men just shared with you, to gain practical training that you're going to need to do this new job that you're going to have as a missionary, the guidance and skills that you'll need. It's a time to pull up anchors, finishing off things to do with your business, selling your home, and some of those practical kind of things in your lives. Prefield ministry is a time to serve, and it's a time to be served. It's a time to do things that nobody else gets to do, experience blessings that you've never seen, and it's just a time to grow in ways that you never could have. So it's full of blessings, it's full of challenges, but it is just so unique. I mean, I would tell my wife so many times, we have got the coolest job in the world. Literally. We've been in 27 states, hanging out with friends, bragging on Jesus. What a cool job, right? Was it easy? No. Was it a lot of work? Yes. But God really blessed our time on Prefield. So, we're going to talk a little bit more about, that's kind of a big picture. What does my life look like? Let's talk a little bit about what will I do during Prefield. Most of your activities is going to revolve around two things: preparation and partnership development. We're going to talk a little bit about each of those two things here today. Let me ask you a question. Anybody can answer this for me. What is your job? What kind of job do you have? Somebody tell me. I don't know anybody here.
Instrumentation at a steel company.
Instrumentation at a steel company. If I did that, I would hurt. If I tried to say that, I would hurt myself. How long did it take you to learn to do that?
I'm still learning.
You're still learning. I like that answer. That's good. Somebody else. Did you go to school?
Yes, I did.
You did. Okay, so you went to school. All right, so you're smarter than you used to be. Smarter today than you were yesterday because you're still learning. That's what we do in our careers, right? We enter into them, and it takes many years of experience, learning, growing, and that's kind of the point that you are as you launch into a missionary career. Maybe you're already in ministry. Maybe you're a pastor. But this is a bit different, okay? It's a new phase. So what do you have to do to prepare? Well, that's what we call Prefield ministry, the training that Wayne and the guys talked about, working with your regional administrators, getting to know your field team, establishing those strategies, and what am I personally going to need to do to excel. And that's what I love about ABWE, and this is where ABWE really excels, is taking our 86 years, not mine, but the organization's 86 years of ministry experience and investing that into each of our new missionaries to prepare them for fruitful and long-term missionary service. Now, because Prefield is ministry, it's very easy to get caught up in the idea, or thinking about some of the things I showed you a minute ago. We're going to pray for people. We're going to tell people our vision. God is going to minister through us. We're going to go to the field and we're going to establish churches. God, through us. God is working through us. But I don't want you to miss something that took me, about 2 years before God kind of smacked me upside the head with a 2x4 and said, Jeff, you don't have your support yet because I'm not done ministering in you. We're sinners. We're weak. We need sanctification. We're growing. There's things that God will not only do through you, but in you to prepare you for the unique ministry that He has for us. And that is a time that's one of the things that happens in Prefield, this whole preparation. That was weird. I pushed the button. The second is partnership development. Ministry is not meant to be done alone. Jesus didn't. The God of the universe, he didn't need anything, but he didn't work alone. He had a team. A team that he worked with them, and he worked through them, and he taught them, and he gave them opportunities to serve. God doesn't expect you to work in isolation. Prefield ministry is about building a team. And I meant to bring the whiteboard in here, and I didn't, but it's not you in isolation. First of all, you've got your church. The calling of God is a twofold calling. If you look in the book of Acts, it talks about the church being called and the missionary. Together, they're sending you as a missionary. So you've got your church, your pastor. One of the very cool things that we had at our church is what we call the sending team. This was our posse. These are our close buds. These are the people that, our biggest cheerleaders and people that come around us and take care of practical things. I mean, we had guys that come and mowed my lawn for 2 years. That's cool. I wasn't here to do it. To make phone calls or just help you watch the kids so that we could have meetings or different things like that. Our sending team of our church, okay? So you've got your church as part of your team. You've got ABWE as part of your team, your agency. All the people that you've heard from today, we're here on this hill to serve and to be part of your team. And then the third huge group are your prayer and financial partners. These are the people that you're going to go out and meet. And that's what I had up here a minute ago. It's kind of like this giant jigsaw puzzle is the way that I looked. I'm a visual person, so I pictured this giant jigsaw puzzle that God was putting together with all these pieces and all these people that He already had called to be part of our team. And there's one difference between God and I. No, there's a lot of differences between God and I. There's one difference is He knows what the final puzzle, the picture looks like. And I don't. I don't know who the faces are that are going to make up my team. I only need to be faithful to go out and share my vision with you and with you and with you, because I want you to be more involved in what God's doing. And some of those people you talk to, spiritually, they're down here, and some of them are way up here, and they're doing all kinds of great things. But if I can answer their questions, that's huge. I don't need to tell them about me, because it's not about me. I need to tell them about our vision so they can catch that, but I need to answer their questions. And sometimes it's a question about finances, or about the mission agency, or about the Bible, or whatever it is, about how tulips grow. I don't know what it is. But if you can answer their questions, they're your buddy. You're building the rapport with people. You don't know who God has to be part of your team. And it's so cool to watch him pace that together. If God has called you into ministry, get this. He's already promised to meet your needs. It's not about the money. It's about the trust. I'm looking to him. I'm not looking to you. I'm not looking horizontally to man. If God puts on the heart for you to give to my ministry, you're not giving to me. You're giving to him out of obedience to him. That's vertical. Whoa, wait a minute. You got that? That's vertical. This is vertical. I'm receiving. I'm not depending on man. So if God's already promised to meet my needs, I don't have to worry about it. And so I kind of, we said PD, partnership development. I often looked at it more as partnership discovery. Because if my support team and my prayer team's out there already, God knows who they are. He knows who the pieces of the puzzles are. I just need to go find them. I need to be faithful in doing that. And that's that's what we do during Prefield. So not only what will I do, but what will sustain you beyond Prefield ministry. The decisions we make and the work we do during Prefield is going to determine how financially stable your ministry is going to be throughout your career. You're putting a foundation in place. Your work ethic and the habits that you start during Prefield are really important. And these are the kind of things that we work with you with in candidate class and through Prefield. In the past, you might have heard words used like supporters, or donors, or deputation. Different agencies use different words. Support raising, or whatever it may be. And if you notice, I haven't used those words today. What word have I been using? We're out there when I'm referring to the practical means by which I'm going to get what I need to get to the field financially. I've been using the word partners. 60 seconds at your table. I'd like you to just discuss that for a minute. Why do we call these people in churches that pray for us and give us money, why do we call them partners? Go. You are an extension, a missionary is an extension of those churches, an extension of those people. They are our partners. We are their hands and feet. They can't go. God hasn't called them to go. God has something else for them. But as one who can go, we're out there on the front lines for them. And that's huge. If you help people to understand that, they get way beyond the idea that it's about their money, but it's about being an extension of their ministry. All right, I have I need to tap a couple of people here to help me with this one. Is anyone in here a pastor? Do you have any pastors or have been a pastor? You're getting tagged, Joel.
Oh, I'm a youth pastor.
Oh, that count. Oh, that's even better. Because to embarrass a youth pastor is better than anything. So come on up here. I got to ask you some questions. All right. Well, do you ever get a chance to preach?
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Do you ever talk to people in your church? Not when you're preaching, but I mean like after church.
Sure.
Or you do? Like during the week?
Sure.
You like talk to people in your church?
Yeah.
Why? Why would you do that?
I don't know. No, just because of number one, just the companionship, and because I'm doing it together, and we're building I look at the whole youth ministry like the church is building it, so people are very curious in what we're doing,
Okay.
and then I always let them how they can help.
Now, is that important?
Very important.
To get to know them, right?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay. I mean, could you do your job if you just see me on Sunday and I don't really want to know you?
I could, but probably, I'm sure, not near as effectively.
Okay.
And you know, it's interesting because building relationships too is, you know, sometimes like the other couple weeks ago, I just kind of felt down a little bit, and got a couple of the older women had given me thank you cards and just let me know how much they appreciated what I was doing, and so.
Okay.
It's just
So
constant
that's
encouragement.
coming back to you.
Yes, it is.
Encouragement. It starts
Yes,
going
it
with.
is.
He used a key word here. He used a word I want to pick up on, and that's the word relationships. Relationships. We can't build a team of partners if we don't have relationships with people.
Absolutely.
Relationships are what Prefield's about. We're out there. Prefield is a time where you expand your contact list. You want to build as many new relationships as you can, because again, you don't know who God has for you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. So it's a time. Let's see what I got up here. Okay. 2 keys to sustaining your ministry. Number 1 is relationships. So we're obtaining new relationships. We're getting to know new people. We're visiting churches. They're signing up my list. I'm calling them on the phone because I want to know who they are. I want to pray for them. I want them to know who I am. All right. Now, I need another helper. I need a young lady that's married. I know you're not going to volunteer, and I might have to volunteer somebody. They're all smiling. Man, you got out of that one easy, didn't you? All right. See, I didn't embarrass him too bad, did I?
No.
Okay, so you're married.
Yes.
To him?
Yep.
Do you like him?
Yeah.
Do you talk to him?
I do.
Serious?
Yeah, sometimes.
Really? Okay. So you have a relationship with him?
Yes.
That's what we're talking about here, right? Relationships, because, okay. What do you do? How do you have a relationship with him? What do you do?
Talk.
Talk.
Do things together.
Now you see why I didn't ask a married guy to come up. He would never say that. Okay. So you talk, you communicate with him.
Right.
Exactly. All right. Thank you very much. That was the point I wanted to make. If you have a relationship with somebody, you need to communicate with them. If you stop communicating, what happens? You go to Dan Branda for counseling, right? Or marriage counseling or something. So, exactly. So, we want to maintain our relationships. And during candidate training, we spend a lot of time dealing with this. I'm not just talking about talking with your husband. I'm talking about communicating back and forth with your donors. And the missions communications is multifaceted. There are a lot of expectations out there. What did you used to do? Send a prayer letter? Everybody was happy, right? Now people expect you to have a website and be on Facebook and doing videos, email, monthly updates, and getting on the phone. So there's a lot of different ways to do that. Your display and tools, communication tools that you will need as missionaries that we want to help you establish habits during Prefield, because if you get those habits down, just kind of the regular systematic way that you keep people informed about your ministry, that can carry on into your ministry and it can sustain that support. Because if people aren't hearing from missionaries, they can't pray, they can't. They'll stop giving. So at Candidate Seminar, the first major training you're going to receive here, we're going to train you to do these things: obtaining and maintaining relationships, and communicating, developing the communication tools. So Prefield is a time that it really challenged me in my insecurities. Because it's a time when so much happens in your life that you've never experienced before, you get stretched, you get stressed. And, I remember times thinking, me? I'm a photographer, I'm not a missionary. Why? We all, maybe for you it's not that label. Maybe it's just the fear of stepping into something unknown or a place that's unknown. Some of the places the men talked to you about this morning. Maybe for you it's lack of ability, or training. I can't even find Habakkuk, let alone spell it. Or whatever it may be. Practically, it may not just make sense in your life right now. We're all inadequate. It's not about being qualified. It's about being obedient. And that's why you're here today, obviously. And my prayer is that as you've spent this day hearing from various people and getting familiar with ABWE, the one thing that you understand is that wherever your insecurities lie, you're not alone. We're part of a team, part of the big picture that God is using to reach people for Jesus Christ. And that's what it's all about. Whether I'm on the front line or I'm back here producing a video, whether someone's in the office as a secretary or they're out in the field as a secretary or a doctor or a nurse or back here as a nurse, it's all part of what has to happen for ministry to take place. And so I'm so excited that you guys chose to spend your day with us. Not that I'm the conclusion, but I'm the last guy on the docket. But it would be such an honor if God led you to be part of this team, to work with you, and that's it. I'm around too if people have questions about communications, technology, or life on Prefield. I'd be glad to help you.
Many of our creatives sit down and chat with Jeff. That's what he does. And then Brad isn't here, so I didn't schedule one-on-one time. But if you have some questions, just what more? Like, what did Prefield life look like, even in more detail? Jeff is around, so feel free to chat with him. So thank you.
Sure.
Perfect. Thank you. Well, these next 2 hours are going to be just your one-on-one conversation. So if you did it.